Weathers, aka Shorty C94, back again with yet another episode of Shorty's Sneaker Conversations. It's episode 123. Gosh, this undershirt will not let me be great. Anyway, let's see if we can get our guest. What's up, everybody? What's up, Charlotte? What's up, Al? There she is.
Hey,
Hey, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. It's really good to see you.
Good to see you too. I feel like it's been forever.
Yeah.
Probably because past. I don't know.
Yeah. It's been a little while. When I was looking at the old pictures, I'm like, man, I don't know. She might not be all right with me putting this on the thing, but
Oh no,
you know,
good. I'm good. That's one of my favorite pictures.
I'm honored.
With the funny face, one of my favorite people.
Yeah, hey,
so good.
You one of my favorites too. I do want to say before we get into anything, just congratulations on everything you have accomplished. You really doing it huge out here.
Thank you. I'm really trying. I actually got some really cool sneaker related stuff in the works right now.
Yeah.
I don't want to talk too much about it. I might get into it a little bit later, but something I'm super duper proud of. So
okay.
It's like literally a dream come true.
Cool. Now, I know you're a busy woman, so how long do we have for?
About
an hour?
I would say probably about an hour.
About an hour? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Almost streamline the show a little bit, you know what I'm saying? Just because I could be a little long-winded. So, so what I always ask my guests is, what's the most important thing you've been able to take from the world since the pandemic started?
The most important thing that I've been able to take since the pandemic started is that, oh my God, there's so much. Okay. Number one would probably be that people are not smart. I don't think I realized how not smart people really were until until the pandemic. Everyone's I don't even really want to call it stupidity. So let me not say not smart. I think people are a lot more selfish than I thought that they could be. But also that I don't almost want to say that either, because I saw a lot of people also giving during the pandemic, especially on Twitter. So I'm really big on Twitter. I have a big platform on Twitter, and every other day I was seeing people cash out money to essential workers, buy essential workers lunch, buy nurses lunch, buy just like kind of crowdfund for each other when people were like losing their jobs and getting laid off because of the pandemic. So it was really kind of both sides for me. Like I saw a lot of good and saw a lot of bad. I saw a lot of selfishness that I just didn't think would be the case. I thought we would kind of all come together and figure out a way to get over the virus, and it just kept getting worse and worse. And I was not expecting that. But I do want to point out the good too, because I did see a lot of good, and I did see a lot of people coming together and just really helping each other in their time of need. So I'm gonna point out the negative and the good.
Okay. Now, we've known each other since 2010, 11, somewhere in there. I think 10.
Probably 10, I think, yeah.
Because I was when Villa was, coming into Cleveland, and
yeah,
quite a time.
Man, my experience at Villa, woo, I won't even get into it. I don't know why.
Hey, we get into it. That shit was crazy. But for me too, shit was crazy. Oh man. But we'll get to that a little later. What was your first sneaker moment or sneaker memory?
Ooh. My first sneaker memory, Honestly, would probably be when I got my first pair of forces. So I never had like dope sneakers growing up, like ever. Um, I grew up very, very poor, so poor that I would not even ask my mom to buy me a pair of expensive sneakers. Like I just knew like it was out of the question. It's never gonna happen. So besides like the occasional pair of like K Swiss classics or Reebok classics, I really didn't get many pairs of like dope sneakers growing up. So the first dope pair of shoes that I got was just a pair of white on white forces, just plain white on white forces. I was probably 16 at the time, about 16 or 17. So like I literally did not get my first like cool pair of shoes until I was way into my teens. Um, and my mom didn't buy them. Like the mother of a friend of mine bought them for me. So like that just goes to show you, like in my household, it was not happening for real. Um, but that was probably like my fondest memory because when I tell you I wore them bad boys out, that was like my really first like as soon as they got dirty, I was cleaning them every day. When they got creases, I was like stuffing them with socks and like ironing the top to try to like iron the creases out. Like I was really trying to do all that I could to preserve like this one cool pair of shoes that I actually had. So that was probably my fondest memory and like my first like real memory of sneakers, at least on a personal level.
Okay. So I remember one of the times we hung out. I remember you killed me because I had on just like some regular shit. I had on some BWs or something like that. You had like the copper foams with the Michigan, the whole fit. You got me hip to Michigan. I had seen it around, but I didn't know what it is. And then you had got me like hip to it. You know what I mean? So
When
I did want to tell you that.
love me some Mishka, like you could not tear me away. When I got my first job and I finally started like making money and could buy my own stuff, like I was out of here.
Yeah, I remember I felt like going back home. I was like, man, I need to go get some other shit. You had killed me.
I'm
You know.
sorry.
Nah, it's cool. It's cool.
Because
You know.
you are like the sneaker god. You know what I mean? So it's like linking up with you and seeing you on something mad regular. I was like, you can do better than this. Like,
Yeah, I had on some BWs. It was I remember because I had a car, but something had happened. I think my car insurance lapsed or something happened where I couldn't drive. And I had to like catch the bus. It was a whole thing, but I do remember that. And I remember I was like, man, I really should have came harder. So, I'm sorry all these years later, but you killed me with the phones. I'm like, damn, I didn't think she was gonna come like this. I knew she had some shit, but woo, cracked my head.
man, I did everything for those foams too. And it's funny because at the time I was working at Foot Locker and my manager was still like, no, you gotta bring your ass here at 6 o'clock in the morning and stand in line with everybody else. Like he wouldn't let me put them to the side. They wasn't like doing no discounts. Like he was very adamant about me being just a regular person trying to get those shoes. So at the time I did not have a car. I was literally catching the bus at 5, 6 o'clock in the morning to get there super early to get them damn shoes.
Yeah, remember those? What Foot Locker did you work at?
Richmond.
Richmond. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And at the time, I was actually a kid's Foot Locker employee.
Okay.
And he managed the regular Foot Locker.
Is this Larry?
Yes, Larry.
Oh, okay. I remember him.
Larry. Because he was managing the kids' Foot Locker at first, and then he moved to the men's Foot Locker, and he decided not to take me with him. He was like, "No, you can stay here," and I was like, "Oh wow." I remember being real sad about it, and eventually I went to the regular Foot Locker with him, but initially he was like, "No, you can stay here." And so when the phones came out, I'm like, Larry, I really need you to like put them to the side for me. Like, I'm gonna get them. Like, I'm coming to get them. And he was like, "Nah, you're not even my employee. Like, you gotta come when everybody else come." And I was like, wow, you being so Jake, bro.
Thank you for saying that. I mean, hey, I don't know if this has happened to you at ATL, but when I'm like, man, that shit is Jake, or the bitches is Jake, people down here be like, fuck? What do you mean? I'm like, oh, my bad. That's Cleveland slang for it's not good, it's
Right.
bad, it's whack. Or what.
You do not want to be Jake at
Yeah.
all.
Thank you
Jake is
for
not good.
saying that, Cash.
I try to hold on to my Cleveland roots as much as I can.
Yeah. Yeah. Now, I'm gonna be honest. I know I sent you the format and everything, but I don't even think I'm gonna follow it, man. We just gonna be talking. We gonna be talking sneakers, but it's been so long. So I do want to see. What was like the next sneaker after them forces that was like, all right, I'm in this.
The next pair of sneakers after them first, and once again, it was a minute because I wasn't asking my mom. I didn't get my first job until I was 18, so I didn't get like my first like real sneakers until I was 18. I knew I was in there with that countdown pack. I had the 11s and the 12s, and at the time they were kind of sitting, and it was crazy to me because nobody wanted to pay like $300 was just like some ungodly amount of money for like sneakers at the time, which is crazy to even think about.
Yeah.
But like people used to come into Foot Locker all the time, like, man, y'all can't just split it up. You can't just sell me the like, no, we're not doing that.
Yeah.
And they was not paying the $5. And I ended up grabbing them with the employee discount, which never happened. I don't know if it was like a glitch or if they just forgot to include it in the exclusions. But the thing about the like employee discounts and like the employee appreciation days is like it was certain shoes that was always going to be off limits, and the countdown packs was always off limits. And as soon as we got the email about it and they said that they weren't off limits and that you could get it, I ended up grabbing them. So I ended up getting 11, 12 pack for about $150. And I felt like I had just won the lottery. Like you could not tell me nothing. I felt like on top of the world. Like, bro, I got the 11s and the 12s and I only paid $150. Are you kidding me? It was like, it was amazing.
Now I remember like I was still in Foot Locker system, but I wasn't like working.
Mm-hmm.
So I was still able to use my discount on them. And you were right. They were all sitting. To me, the only packs that really sold out, like I know the 6 and 17 went, and the 7 and 16 went. People wanted the Carmines and the Harris. But everything else sat. Because I remember when we opened West Town Villa, we had countdown packs. They were grade school ones, but we had like 3 and 20 countdown packs, and they were like $100 at the beginning of 2011.
Crazy.
$100 for a 3 and an all black 20.
That's crazy. We had 2 packs left. So I don't even want to say they were like sitting, but I think it's because of the size that they were. Because I wear 8 in men's, so I'm like on the smaller side, but still like out of kids. And so 8s you can tend to find like stragglers here and there. But we had a size 8 in the 11 and 12s, and then we had the 14 and the 9 pack. But it wasn't my size. It was some other size that was kind of sitting. But I had my eye on those 11 and 12s for so long, and I was like, yo, as soon as I could get them, like, I'm going to get them. And it just so happens it came with like 50% off, and I was like, yes.
Yeah. And see, I feel like you and I met during the time where it was kind of that weird time where I feel like from 2008 to 2011, it was kind of weird where the streetwear kind of took over the urban clothes. People weren't really wearing Forces. Everybody was going for Blazers and Dunks. And
yeah.
They were bringing back other old Nike basketball shoes, Terminators, Dynasties. It was a weird time.
Yeah.
When I always remember this picture of you. You used it in the Shorty C94 certified, but it was this picture of you where you had like all your shoes, a white background. It was that was like all there. Do you have any of that old stuff or any of that?
Most of it is gone. When I tell you I like really, really fell on hard times, it ended up having to sell so many of my sneakers. A lot of that stuff I do not have still. So I think I still have all the Griffies that I had in that picture. Maybe like one pair of the Blazers. Like I know I still got those Godzilla Blazers. I don't have any of those dunks. Not a one. All
Hmm.
of the dunks was gone because the dunks was still really, really popular at the time where like I needed, extra money and I fell on hard times and like was selling my shoes. So like the dunks and the blazers went super fast. I don't know what happened to those big Nikes. I don't remember selling them, but they are not with me. um yeah, I feel like the only thing I really have left are those Griffies. All those like Air Force Jordans that I had are gone. Which honestly, like I was just buying them just to buy them. I was kind of like in my, I work at Foot Locker and it's 30% off, so I'm gonna just grab them phase.
Yeah.
So I had a lot of Air Force Jordans, and I know they get a very bad rep amongst people, but I felt like some of the designs were like really cool. And one thing about me, like when I buy shoes, I go based off of do I like what I see. I'm not going based off of the hype. I'm not going all the time based off of like what's cool and what's not cool, what's like sneakerhead approved and what's not. Like if I like it, I'm gonna buy it. So um, I had quite a few pairs like Air Force Jordans or whatever that were in the picture that I don't have anymore. I don't know what happened to them.
Nah, I got it. I still, I still have a lot of that stuff, and people, if I do decide to wear it, people will be like, "The fuck is this nigga wearing some fusions?"
Right.
But hey, you had to be there. It's just like, cause I'm still old school with it. I still post the sneakers on Facebook, and I'm still in some Facebook groups, and I wore the threes, and I wore the hang tag, and people was like, "No, that's tacky." And I'm like, "Man, you had to be
You
there,"
had
and
there.
that's what I say about the fusions. Like, you had to be there. Like, it was the moment in
It was
time.
a great
Yeah.
time. It was a great time. I loved it. I mean, like, even if I didn't keep them, even if I just, wore them once and sold them or wore them once and gave them away, like, I just enjoyed, seeing which ones would do well, which ones wouldn't do well, which ones people actually messed with. I really liked some of the colorways. I remember one I had, it was a AFJ 6, and it was in kids because sometimes I can wear like a 7 if it runs big enough. Because I'm really kind of like a 7.5, so I tend to go for 8s for comfort. But if I need to, I'll get me in a 7.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and it was a kids pair that came out. It was like a black nubuck with like hot pink stitching that and I loved them.
I remember those.
Like so dope to me. Like they looked really cute on my feet. Like I was like, forget what y'all talking about. Like I love these. I'm gonna keep rocking them. I wish I still had them. I once again I don't know what happened to them.
Nah, it'd be like that.
Yeah.
All right. So since I've known you, you've always been creative. You're one of the most creative people I've ever met. I remember you had the cartoon, like the caricature of yourself, with the kicks, and
Uh-huh.
you was really the first person I ever knew that was like real nice with the Photoshop. Like you was doing things. I'm like, man, that's awesome. Like, so for that to lead to everything else, like, because I'm gonna ask you a lot of. I should have said this in the message too. I was gonna ask you a lot of questions about kind of the start of, everything that you've done. So when you started out with your business, what did you think it was going to be, or what was your goal for it initially?
Um, Initially, all I really wanted was to get back into painting. I didn't do it thinking that I would even sell stuff. I
Mm-hmm.
just wanted to get back into painting. So I'm a graduate of the Cleveland School of the Arts. I went to the School of the Arts from 8th grade until I graduated. And the whole time I was in school, art was my life. When I say art was my life, I mean I was going to school and skipping classes and staying in the art room drawing, like to the point where my art teacher got in trouble because it's like, why are you letting her do this? You know what I mean? But art was my life. And then as soon as I graduated, the real world took over. You know what I mean? Like as soon as I graduated, I wasn't able to go to college because of like financial issues. And so in my head, I'm like, well, I'm not going to do nothing. Like I have to at least go get a job. So I was literally working as soon as I graduated. And like just the real world and life took over and I stopped drawing. I I was gonna say I stopped painting, but I didn't even start painting until after I graduated. So that's a whole nother story. But I stopped drawing, and I was doing graphic design every now and again. So a lot of people in Cleveland know me for doing like party flyers and like local rappers like mixtape covers and stuff like that. So I was still into art in the form of graphic design, but not like drawing or like really using my hands. And I really wanted to get back into it. And my birthday was coming up, and a friend of mine asked me what I wanted for my birthday. And I said, yo, buy me some art supplies. Like, I kind of want to, get back into art. And he bought me some paint, and I hadn't like never really painted before. We didn't paint a lot in school. I was mostly working with like pencil and charcoal. But, I had this paint, and I started getting into painting, and I loved it. And, I would finish a painting, and I would like either post it on Twitter or post it on Instagram and stuff. And people loved it so much and were steady buying my paintings. And I was like, wow, this is really cool. And then it kind of like snowballed to the point where, people were asking for stuff that I didn't have anymore. Cause I'm like, oh, I sold that painting. So I was like just making a painting, selling it, and then it was gone forever. And eventually I was like, I could probably make a lot more money if I find out how to keep selling multiples of like a painting. So then I started getting like prints made of my paintings. Then I started putting my paintings on t-shirts and putting it on mugs. And then it kind of just went from there. Like I didn't have a mindset like, oh, I'm going to start a business, but I did have a mindset where it's like, people want this, so I want to supply it. I can get more money if I figure out how to put this on other stuff. So that's what I'm gonna do. But yeah, I didn't originally have like a plan to start a business. It just kind of happened.
That's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing. So another old memory that's gonna tie in is I remember your Cleveland Heights apartment.
Mm-hmm.
Remember you had those pictures of the different Kanyes.
Yes,
I remember you had them all like in a row. You had each Kanye was like a different bear, and I always remember that. I don't know if I ever got to tell you how cool I thought that was that you had in your house. You know what I mean?
I loved those. Now I didn't make those. I don't want you to think like I designed them myself. It was like some stuff I found online. But I was a huge Kanye fan. Rest in peace to that guy. But I was like, as soon as I have me an apartment, like I'm gonna put up so much cool art, like, and that's just all I was concerned about. And as soon as I got my apartment, that's exactly what I did. So I didn't have a lot on my walls, but I knew for sure I wanted me some Kanye something.
I remember.
Yeah, it's a shame that he had to disappear like that.
Yeah. I was going to ask you your thoughts on the current version of him, but you've already let me know. So, we'll throw that back there.
You know what? And I try to provide grace because we just all figuring this shit out. You know what I mean? Don't nobody really know what's what in this thing of life. Like everybody's just trying to figure it out. But that man has said some real harmful and hurtful things that I just don't approve of, and I just can't get jiggy with it. Like,
for sure,
it sucks. It really, really sucks. And I mean, I still listen to his music. I haven't been like, oh my God, cancel Kanye, I'm not playing this ever again. Like, I still listen to his music. Would I go to another tour? Probably not. Like, it is what it is. Hey, Layla. Hey, Ty. What's up, guys? My people rolling in.
Yeah.
I saw you in here earlier. Not sure if you're still in here, but hi, Miss. Okay, my bad.
Cool. So, I follow your regular page, this page, as well as the business pages. Mm-hmm. And I do enjoy your posts. I see that you
wait.
Final.
We're on my personal page. We're not on the business page.
Right. That was what you had joined with, so I just invited you from that. You had joined from that, so
I could have.
It's all good.
Joined from the other one because I meant to.
That's okay. To me, this is probably better. It's a little more intimate. You know what I mean? So.
Okay.
But
whichever you prefer.
yeah, but I see, you know, what you post. Your posts are always a certain way. I really like that. But like, you still are a sneaker person. I still see you copping. So like, what gets you excited now, having had so much and have so much? You know, what gets you excited for sneakers now? Like, what sneaker would get you excited that you don't have?
Ooh, that I don't have that would get me excited. I I really want some more nines.
Jordan
Yeah,
nines. Okay.
I it's crazy. I actually have a pair right here because I literally just wore them the other day. So I got like the UNC nines. Um, but I feel like I love the nines silhouette way too much for me to only have one pair. And I've only ever had one pair. So it's not like I had it and then sold it and I regret it. Like I've just never been able to grab more than those. And that would get me very excited. If I could finally get those black, white, and red penny ones, I would be pretty excited too.
I remember that.
The blue ones you could find like kind of sitting around. But being 100% honest, like I don't pay attention as much as I used to. Um, yeah, some nines would get me very, very excited because they're so comfy to me. I love the way they look on my foot. Like it's such a dope silhouette. Um, and also if I could give me some 20s, I would love a pair of 20s. I always thought they were so dope. Um, I I can't even recall if they've ever been retro. Um, yeah, that will put me back in the game. I'd do whatever to try to get some of those.
Okay. Now I'm gonna say this, and this may not be a popular opinion. Hopefully, I don't offend anybody in the chat or you, Cash. But they come out with nines, but they always make them for the hood. They don't ever really make them for like.
You know what? And I
They
was
make
just
them for the
about
hood.
to say, like, the colorways that come out, that like do come out, like I just don't like them.
Like, I don't need an all red nine with patent leather and black
I don't need
shoelaces.
all red nothing. All red Jordans give me gas station vibes. And I can't like unsee it. Those 11s, like I can't unsee it. And it was funny. I don't want to offend anybody either, but they also were coming out with some crazy colorways for 14s recently, and I love 14s. And I got like the black, white, and red ones, and I thought they were so dope. But when they came out and I saw the like demographic of people wearing them, I was like,
the all
I got
red with the black and the white. Those.
yes, I love those. And I actually thought that like
They were
that
nice.
they were nice, and they looked really like it looked so clean on that silhouette. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, I kind of gotta have these, and then I bought them. And like I just remember looking around like, oh, I can't wear these. I gotta just keep these on ice because y'all are doing these crazy. I was like, I'm good. Like I can't be that number. Like I gotta wait.
It's a real thing. Like, I know it's been a while since you've been in the city. You know, that was one of the last because we moved down here in 20. So those black and yellow 12s, the smoke gray ones with the red one top, and them 14s were like the last three major Jordans before, you know, we moved to North Carolina, and they were everywhere. Everywhere. All over Cleveland, east side, west side, downtown, EC. Everywhere I went, they were everywhere. I'm like, God, I can't get it. Especially the black and yellow 12s. Every nigga had the Willie Stargell Pittsburgh Pirates with the hat and the You know what I'm talking about, Cash. You know how they do. Oh man. You know how they do, man.
Oh my I'd be wearing them out. Oh my God. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Now, oh man, this is just it's so great to be able to talk to you. It's been a long time. I feel like the last time we spoke, like without it being text or message, I think it was when you had got the Don C hats for me for you and your husband when I was still on Coventry. I remember that too.
Yes, yes, yes. I remember. Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
And you know what? I got a bone to pick with you about that because till this day, I am addicted to high shoes.
Oh,
So I don't know if you was the one who packed the order, but somebody sent me some high shoes with them hats. And I
yeah.
was like, oh, I never heard of these before. When I tell you I was fucking them things up for months, years afterwards. Oh my God.
Yeah, I wonder if I don't even know if Dex still do that, but yeah, they used to have us put those in when we would package stuff. So yeah, but yeah, those was good. You still have those hats? Y'all still got them?
He does, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah. Now I know you left Cleveland what 14?
I did.
14?
On Halloween.
Wow. Okay.
I choose our gas. Yes, yes, they are gas. Like I could not
Yeah.
believe it. I was like, oh, I gotta go to the store and get some more of these today. Like
Now what's crazy is I've never had it. As much as I used to throw them in, I've never had the hot shoes.
they're so good. They're like Starburst, but better.
Okay. Since I have your cosign, I'm gonna see what's up.
You gotta
I'm gonna see.
try them now. Yeah, get the tropical joints if you see them. The tropical high shoes.
Yeah.
Man,
Okay.
oh man.
Well, you relocated from Cleveland to the ATL.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I know you come back occasionally because I mean I still come back to Cleveland occasionally. Do you miss Cleveland at all?
Sometimes. I miss, obviously my family a lot. But I do miss Cleveland. Um, I miss some of my food, like some of my favorite food is there. Like, oh my God, a couple weeks ago when I tell you I was dying for a corned beef sandwich, like I didn't realize that that's really like the Midwest stuff. Like,
Mm-hmm.
you can't just randomly go somewhere here and like get a fire corned beef sandwich. Like, um, yeah, sometimes I miss the food. Sometimes I miss like the party atmosphere just because I've been to so many dope parties in Cleveland. Like I know so many good DJs in Cleveland. I don't think Cleveland really appreciates the fact that there are like some dope ass DJs in Cleveland. Cause when you go to Atlanta and you start partying in Atlanta, you be like, oh, this is trash. Like the atmosphere be a little bit trash. Like, and I mean, Cleveland can be too, depending on what party you go to, but you can always find like, decent parties like in the nooks and crannies. And sometimes I just miss like going to like a low key spot, like just heading to the B side and seeing somebody that's actually dope spin. You know what I mean? Like I wish I had that more often. So yeah, sometimes I miss Cleveland. Do I miss the snow? Nah.
Nah, I don't either.
That's about the only thing that has me like, I'm good.
Yeah. And I just ask because I'm gonna be honest with you. I mean, it's unfortunate, but like I'm getting divorced. So I'm debating on whether or not I'm going to go back, go somewhere else, or stay here because I live in Greensboro now.
Okay.
You know, it's different than Mebane, where I work and where our house is. But I don't know. I'm kind of 50-50 on it, and I know that you've been gone even longer than me. So I figured I would ask, do you really, miss it, or would you ever consider coming back being as successful as you are?
I definitely have considered moving back. I've had the conversation with my husband a couple times where it's like, you know what, we should go back for a minute, like stack up, you know what I mean? Like, cause living in Cleveland is certainly cheaper than living in Atlanta. Atlanta is crazy expensive. Like it's still on the lower side for it to be such a big and like popping city.
Yeah.
But sometimes I be on Trulia looking at rent prices in Cleveland and I be like, man, we need to go back to Cleveland like for a couple of years or something.
Yeah. Like I never wanted to come down here. I mean, I was just, being a supportive husband. But
Mhm.
at the same time, everything is so high to the point where I've looked at places I lived before, and I'm like, man, I would never pay that much to live. Like, I can't see paying over $1,000 to live on Kismet, man. I just can't see it. I just can't see it.
Crazy everywhere, literally everywhere. So like you really can't escape it. And then I may be moving to Cali soon, so that's gonna be like a total like.
Well, now you'll be fine. I mean, you go anywhere and it's gonna be popping. So, you know.
Oh, so let me tell you about Cali. So while there's only a couple people in here, because I'm really not supposed to talk about it, but I kind of want to tell you because I'm super excited about it. So I am currently gunning for this internship designing for Adidas. Um,
Let's go. That's right. Let's go.
yeah, I've made it to like the final part of the rounds, and if I get it, I'll know for sure May 10th, I believe it was, or around May 10th. I don't know for sure if I got it. But if I got it, I'll be moving in June, and I start the internship in July, and the internship is 2 years. And after the 2 years is up, I'll have a permanent job designing for Adidas. So that's what I'm going through right now. And I really think I'm gonna get it. I feel like it's a good chance it's gonna happen for you girls. So we're gonna see. We're gonna see.
Hey, you've always hey, if anybody deserves that, it's you. Let's go. I mean, if you remember, let me know what's going on. You know what I mean? Let me know. You know,
I will. I
but
will.
Major, I don't even. I mean, I have to. Wow. I don't even know what to say. I'm trying to keep it together for the show. But congrats.
I am so excited. I am so excited. But yeah, I just finished one of the workshops last week and got the email today like, hey, we're moving you to the finals. So, if everything goes well with the finals and I get past that, then I'm in there. And it's very, very, very scary. I low key can't even imagine being that far away from my family. Right now, round trips back to Cleveland cost me like $150 or less. So I'm back in Cleveland, 4 or 5 times a year. But if this happens, it won't be that way, and I'm kind of sad about it. But I know that it's for like the greater good and the bigger picture. You know what I'm saying? So very, very scared, but also very, very excited. So
That's good. That's good. It's gonna happen. I mean, yeah,
thank
yeah.
you, thank you, thank you. I've been talking about it like it's already happening. I don't know why I'm speaking about it differently here, but I
Hey.
got I got this. We got this.
Yeah, yeah. Now, tell me about Delish Condish.
So, Delish Condish is my skincare company. I am a licensed esthetician. So, in the midst of me selling my artwork and being like fully engulfed in my artwork, I did go back to school. I went to cosmetology school um, to become an esthetician because I was having like some really bad skin problems. And I started like just making like concoctions and like doing like DIY projects and stuff, trying to figure out how to help clear my skin. Um, and even though some of the stuff worked, some of the stuff didn't, it just really, really got me kind of invested in skincare and like the chemistry and the science of it all. And it really became like another hobby for me. um and once people started asking like, oh, like, well, can you make me this, or can you make me that, or I got this problem, can you make that for me? And I would try to make stuff for them, and eventually I was like, let me actually go to school and get some more knowledge about what I'm doing, because I really didn't know, especially for me to be selling it how I was selling it. Like, I really didn't fully know what I was doing, you know what I mean? But everybody's always looking for a miracle product. So they're like, oh, some homemade stuff? Like, I want some, give it to me. But yeah, then I ended up going to school and learning a lot more about skincare, and a lot more just about like how skincare formulas work and how certain ingredients interact with the skin, interact with each other. and I ended up forming an actual skincare brand, and it's actually doing a lot better than my art at the moment. And I don't think people realize that. So I think when people think of me, they think art, but literally skincare has been paying my bills for the past like at least 2 years. Like not art at all. Yeah. So yeah, it's been going great, and I'm really excited about it and really happy for it, and um just kind of riding the wave right now. I don't know how much longer it's gonna last, or but having fun with it right now, changing some lives. Got a ton of customers, who can vouch for my products, and um, I've sold thousands of those products so far, and it's been great. It's been great.
Good, good to hear. Good to hear. Oh man.
Oh look, all my people are coming in. My brother came in, my sister came in, my cousin just came in. Hi guys.
Yeah.
I saw Rio was in here. Hey guys.
Yeah. Okay. So now is usually in the middle. I usually do kind of either or questions.
Okay.
I know we don't have a lot of time left, and I still have so much I want to ask you. So
No, you're
I'm gonna make it quick.
good. Keep going. Keep going.
But I'm gonna start with the Jordan question.
Okay.
White cement 3 or white cement 4? I only choose one.
I'm gonna go white cement 4.
Okay. Okay.
Even though I like 3s more, and in the white cement colorway, I'm going with the 4s.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Villa or Foot Locker?
Fuck. No,
Hey.
fuck it. I'm gonna just say it. Let me tell you about Villa. Villa fired me because they said that they thought I was stealing. So I was working the register one shift, like $200 came up missing. I'm like, yo, that I swear to God, it was not me. I don't know how it came up missing, but they fired me. And like 6 months later, they found out who actually took it. And he had been like stealing shoes and like slipping sneakers like out the back door. Like it was real bad. And they tried to offer me my job back. And I was like, fuck y'all. Like, I'm not coming back. You should have fired me at the time. Like, y'all did not have no evidence that I took that money.
Okay.
So it's forever fuck Villa for me. I'm sorry.
Yeah. So I'll tell you about mine then. I know I told you when this happened, but it's been a long time. It's been like 11, 12 years. So like it was bad from the beginning because who I got teamed up with, it just wasn't bad. I was at West Town. I ended up sending an email like, look, I can't work with this woman. I live much closer to Lee and Harvard. Could I just work at Lee and Harvard? I go there. So apparently one night it was me and 2 other managers there, and the back door didn't get locked. But because I was the highest ranking manager, not a store manager, but just a higher assistant, I don't know what that means. It was my fault that the door wasn't locked, and they didn't fire me, but they were really trying to get me to quit.
I think I do remember you telling me this. Yeah.
And at the same time, Radio Shack was offering me a job. It was a little bit more money. I took an extra 2 days because I'm like, the discount. Like I really was like, the discount. It's like 40%. Because that was the highest that had ever been. Foot Locker never gave me that much. Foot Action never gave me that much. I'm like, 40%. But I might get fired.
It's a hell of a discount because we was
but
30 for Foot Locker.
I was like, and then the acting store manager was like, man, they're probably gonna fire you or whatever. Who knows what would have happened? But I was like, man, I'm just gonna leave. This shit ain't working. Whatever. And even now, like I know DTLR bought them out. Technically, Villa isn't around, but I don't even shop there.
I shop at the one down here occasionally, but not a lot. It's F the whole organization for me. Like, honestly, they were doing stuff just like so. I don't want to call it shady, but it was like y'all not
50 something.
Like, not running this store how a sneaker store is supposed to be ran. And like I worked at the one on St. Clair.
Mm-hmm.
And when I tell you it was like constantly getting robbed, like it was like damn near scary to work there sometimes. And I mean, I lived right on Superior, you know what I mean? So it's not like I'm not from the hood, but like, oh
Yeah.
my God, it was like,
Yeah, I'm just like, man, this can't be real. Like this, the way they used to do shit, I'm like, this just after working at Foot Locker prior and Foot Action, I'm like, this just isn't.
yeah,
This is
like this is not how it's supposed to go. Like, and I remember like I begged for my job. Oh, so that was the thing. I begged Larry back for another job. So
mm-hmm.
remember I told you he left me at Kids Foot Locker,
Mm-hmm.
and the new management that took over and stuff, like I was not feeling it, and that's why I ended up going to Villa. So I went to Villa and they fired me, and I was like, I remember calling Larry, like, Larry, I can't do this no more. Can you please hire me? Like, I'll do whatever. And he was like, okay, fine. So then I went back to Foot Locker, and I went to regular Foot Locker this time because that's where he was at Richmond. And when I tell you, I was so happy to be back. Like when I was selling all the accessories. I'm scrubbing the shoes. Look. He was like, "Oh, you must have really missed it." I'm like, "Yeah, bro, because Villa was not it." Like I went to Foot Locker and I got my shit all the way together. I was at the lease line. Hey, come on, guys, come on in. Buy some sneakers today. I was pulling in customers. I was relacing shoes, cleaning kids' shoes. Like I was all in after that.
I will say Villa is one of my biggest professional failures because I tried as hard as I could. It just wasn't for me. But
it was not a good place to work. From the upper management to just everything was just really, really weird. So I feel you.
Nah, but if there's a silver lining, I'd have never lasted at Next for 5-6 years like I did if I hadn't failed at Villa first.
Okay.
Because Next was its own experience. I mean, it wasn't as bad as Villa, but it had its own share of shit where I'm still like, this isn't Villa, but is it supposed to be like this?
Right.
But after I started running stores, it got different. It got much better. And then after Next, I was with Hibbett for a while, and yeah, some of the stories we could tell. So let me ask you, what's the worst sneaker release that you've ever worked? Like, what shoe was it?
I can't think of any bad releases per se. I'm sure they probably existed, but I can't like really remember off the top of my head. So all the worst experiences I had came like during holidays, like working Christmas Eve,
Okay.
or working like the Saturday before Easter.
Mm-hmm.
Just working with some of the customers and like people trying to get in last minute was like, oh my God, like. So I'm trying to think in my head like what release was just like really bad or like really threw me for a loop as far as how people were acting, but I can't too much think of any. Not for shoes that we had. So I remember when those Galaxy phones dropped, the amount of phone calls and people that were coming in the store asking me about them and hounding me about them, and I'm just like, bro, we're not even getting them. Like, that was pretty wild for a shoe that we didn't even like release. You know what I mean? Like, but yeah, I can't think of any releases that just had me like, whoa, this is some BS.
I got you. The only one that happened at Villa was we had got those Year of the Rabbit 7s, and it was the first time I seen people camp out for a shoe like overnight. You know, and to me that just looked like some bootleg rabbit hair 7s anyway. Mm-hmm. But that was the first time where I'm like, man, this is a whole nother level. I ain't never seen niggas wait outside. This is Leon Harvard. It's not East Cleveland, but it's not Hunting Valley or Moreland Hills either. You know, you don't want to hang out there at all night for a shoe. And yeah, it was crazy. most of my bad releases happened at Next, so because 2013, every release that year was just bad. Like people fighting, the taxis, the white, black, and red 13. You know, he got games. The Fair Pack, the Bel Air Fives, all of that shit was just bad. That whole year, just throw that whole year away. As far as like, I wasn't wearing a beard yet, but my beard would already started turning gray if I would have started working there. Then.
See, the thing about me was that, you know, a lot of the times I was working in sneakers. For the most part, I was at Kids Foot Locker, so I wasn't at Villa long at all. I was at Villa a few months, maybe 3-4 months. I wasn't there that long. And when I went back to Foot Locker, the regular Foot Locker, I wasn't there that long. So the majority of my like sneaker working career, I was at Kids Foot Locker. So I missed a lot of the hype because people just wasn't going that crazy for the kids' shoes. So like they would come in and buy them, but I didn't have like, you know, it wasn't that bad. Yeah, because I was at Kids Foot Locker.
I feel it. I know I noticed you had commented. I had posted a old video when I was at Richmond Foot Locker. It was right before the pandemic. The mall was like a shell of itself compared to when you worked there. Like when I was there, the end of 19 and 20 before we moved out here, the only thing that was open in the mall was Foot Locker, Finish Line, and Liz Crafters, and the Charlies. The whole rest of the mall was empty, you know. And I'm like, man, it was crazy. It was nothing like how I remember Richmond being, because before we lived out here, our last house was in Euclid, but it was real close to Richmond Heights. It was up the hill Euclid. Okay. And when we bought it in 16, JCPenney was still there, Sears was still there. It was still shit in the mall. And I'm like, only 3 years later, like, the fuck? What the fuck happened? Everything was gone.
Yeah, I remember when I had went back there, because mind you, I was working at Richmond Mall later in life too, like right before I moved here, because I was a manager at Planet Fitness. So I was working at the Planet Fitness there, and it was decreasing at that time, and I knew like it's not gonna be but so long before this place kicks the can. And I remember like the owners of Planet Fitness talking about what they were going to do when the mall closes, and this was before we even like knew it was closing, but they just knew, you know what I mean? They're like, pretty soon like the anchor stores are going to start leaving, and once the anchor stores start leaving the mall, it's a wrap. Once the JCPenney and Sears and Macy's and shit start leaving, and the whole mall is going to collapse on itself. So you know, I want to say the Sears closed first. And as soon as the Sears closed, they were like, all right, let's figure out what we're going to do and where we're going to move this Planet Fitness, because this mall is about to go. So I knew it was on its way out the door, you know, right before I ended up moving down here when I left Planet Fitness. But I didn't think it was going to decline like as fast as it did. I want to say maybe like a year later I went and it was like gone.
Yeah. Because, I mean, the mall was in such poor shape. Structurally, excuse me, that when everything happened for the shutdown, everybody else opened up in May. We didn't open back up until like July, right before I figured we found out, you know, my wife got this job and we're gonna move down here. We were closed for a while, so I was going out to Summit. I was going to like other Foot Lockers to work, burning up all kinds of gas just because we weren't open. But yeah. I hate that all the malls are gone. Beechwood is still there, but never was a huge fan of Beechwood. So you know, wasn't Randall, it wasn't Richmond, it wasn't Tower City. It just wasn't, you know. But whatever. So when you were still in Cleveland and you kind of were first buying your own sneakers, where was your go-to place to get them?
Obviously, Foot Locker, Next, Heart and Soul.
Oh, Heart and Soul. I still got a Heart and Soul hat somewhere.
Love me some Heart and Soul. Shout out to Heart and Soul. I think that was mostly it, because I was buying a lot of sneakers online too.
Yeah.
Well, not a lot, but like I was definitely doing like Karmaloop, pick your shoes, buy sneakers like online too. So yeah, and store, that was probably about it. Most of the time when I was buying sneakers back then, I was like getting them online.
Yeah. Oh man, man, good times.
Good time.
Um, so would would you would you be able to like ballpark how many sneakers you have now? You think you still got hundreds, or where are you at now?
Definitely not hundreds. I might have 100,
Okay.
maybe
Okay.
even a little less. Um, but yeah, I didn't so many in my day. Like, especially before I came down here, I sold quite a bit. I gave my mom a lot of sneakers because me and her were the same size. So I left a lot back in Cleveland, and she didn't warm to death. But yeah, I don't have a lot now, and I'm okay with it. Like, I never thought I would be okay with it, but like I'm very content with like the collection that I do have. And then I honestly don't wear sneakers a whole lot anymore, just because I'm like always in Crocs. I'm always opting for like total comfort, and I work from home, so it's not like I'm constantly going a lot of places. So when I'm just running errands and stuff, I'm like, I'm just throwing some Crocs. And then in the summer, it's like I'm mostly in sandals. um so the collection that I have lasts pretty, like it's lasted pretty well, and does pretty well because I don't wear everything a whole lot. um but I'm content with what I have, the little few that I have now.
Okay. What's your favorite shoe out of that? What's the shoe that's your favorite or that means the most to you?
Hmm. That means the most to me would probably be the All-Star LeBron sevens.
Hmm.
I really, really wanted those when they first came out. Like, and what's really funny? Like, seeing how shoes do they come out these days and compared to the last time they came out,
Yeah.
and like seeing like how the hype is like totally different, and like how the kids these days just don't appreciate like certain shoes like how they used to, you know what I mean? So when the LeBron All-Star sevens came out, you if you had them, like you were cool. Like,
Yeah.
people didn't have those for real, for real. And they were kind of at that time like my grails when they came out, because I really wanted them really bad, and just price wise, like I couldn't get them, and then they were so like exclusive. Like at that time, it was like it was them, and then it was the those like South Beach ones or whatever. Like those were like the two LeBrons. So
Mm-hmm.
when these came back out for the 10-year anniversary, first of all, I was like, geez, it's been 10 years already. But then two, I was like, maybe I could actually get them, this time. So I was able to grab them super easy. I want to say I got them for under retail. Like they were really like not selling well. So that was like really, really funny to see, because I'm like, when they first dropped, like they were hot shit. And
Mm-hmm.
this time around, nothing. But I love them to death still. It's one of my favorite shoes. I haven't even worn them just because I'm like, whenever I put them on, like I have to do these justice. So they've just been kind of sitting in the box, and I actually need to wear them because I know that can kind of be bad for a shoe, just kind of letting it sit. Like I kind of need to get it out there. But that's probably the one that means the most to me. As far as my favorite pair, I would probably say I actually have these bases that I really, really love. Um,
Okay.
right?
Okay.
Like, um, I also have probably my hair sevens. That was another countdown pack I was able to grab. Um, love, love, love the hair sevens to death. Um, I would say those are probably my top two in my collection. And and then like my black cement threes, because I just feel like my black cement threes are just You know what I mean? Like it's the perfect shoe. And I need to buy me another pair before they're like gone. Somebody said show them. You know what? I will. I'll take my phone with me. All of my shoes are like scattered all over the place. I have like some in my closet. I got some in my studio. Let me see if I can find them all right quick though. Sorry, it's so dark. But yeah, another pair that's important to me too will probably be the women's Aqua Eights, the white pair. Because that was like one of the first like cool pair of shoes I thought I had got too. And somebody actually had bought them for me. God bless his heart, because I didn't even like him for real. So I felt kind of bad accepting them, but I was like, I'm not turning these down. If you want to give them to me, go ahead, get them for me. All right, let me see what shoes I was talking about. I said the Babesters. Let me find the box. Let me find out I ain't got them in the box. Or at least the box isn't right here. But yeah, ask me more questions while I look for these, because it might be a little minute.
Okay. So, with the collection that you have, is there a direction you'd like it to see it go in the future, or you just kind of cool with it the way it is?
I would love to diversify my collection. I feel like I have too much Nike. I would love to buy other shoes that, you know, from other brands that I love. Because I always hate it when people are like, oh yeah, I'm a quote unquote sneakerhead, and like all they ever have is Nikes, because there's so many good shoes out there. But these are the Babesters. I really, really, really love the camo Babesters so much. Fire. One of my favorites. So that's them. What else did I say? The white women's Aqua Eights.
Mm-hmm.
They beat the hell up because I don't wear these to death.
Is that the retro, or is that the original 07 pair?
This is the original 07 pair.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the
You did say somebody bought it for you back there. My bad.
No, you good. So I got those. And I gotta go in my closet for my bronze.
Actually, I have women's Aqua 8s as well, and a women's 12.
They're so fire. I really should have got another pair when they retroed, and I didn't. But I feel like you could probably find them for the low too.
Yeah.
The All Star, LeBron 7s, love them. I feel like I mentioned another shoe. Did I?
You said the Hair 7.
Oh, I did say Hair 7s. I feel like I just wore those, and they might not be in the box, so bear with me. Oh, they are. Hair 7s. My babies, love them to death. What else I got in here right quick that I feel like is icy? I was just talking to somebody about these, and they said they hated them, and I was like, you're freaking crazy. The Crazy 8s.
Man.
Love Crazy 8s. So comfy. Always felt like the shoe was so dope. Love them to death. Those copper foams we were talking about, still got those, of course. Never letting them go.
Hurt me bad with them.
Never letting them go. Oh, snap. Forgot all about these. The Emerald Diamond Turfs. One of my favorite shoes as well. They're a little beat up right now. Forgot all about them. Ooh. I might have to might gotta clean these up, put them on one of these days. I ain't worn in years. Literally years, but love the Diamond Turf. Huh?
Hustle her days.
Right.
Man.
Yeah. I mean, I got some stuff in here.
Oh, I know you do. You always have.
Yeah, I got some stuff still. Let me see what else I got going on. I got I still got the old. These are the last ones, the retro, but I got the other ones too still, because when did they come out? 2009, 2010.
Yeah.
Devos, yeah, I still got that pair too. I keep saying that I'm gonna restore them. So I've never restored a pair of sneakers before, but I keep telling myself that I'm gonna actually do it. So I keep holding on to them, and maybe I will soon. Somebody said keep going. Oh man, let me see what else I got in here.
So while you're,
Um,
oh, I'm
mhm.
sorry. Go ahead.
No, you're good.
No, I was gonna say while you're looking through stuff, I did want to share another memory, and I wanted to thank you for something.
Okay.
You probably don't remember this at all, but we hung out once in 2013. It was early because it was snow outside, and I got fired from my job that day. And you hung out with me. You know what I'm saying? Like we went to Applebee's. We went to Tomorrow. You were like looking for something to match
Oh yeah,
something.
I don't
You
remember that.
remember? Yeah.
Cause that's when I bought
I
that
remember.
dress. I was like, the one dress with the spiked things on it. I bought that tomorrow. Do you remember?
I think so.
Yeah. Oh
But
wow. Yes.
I always wanted to thank you for that because like I got hired at Next like a few weeks after that.
Uh
But I was like real fucked up. And you
huh.
really helped me that day. I never got to thank you for that officially. But
Oh, of course. You were my friend. Oh, I mean, you're still my friend. I don't want to say the word, but, but yeah,
yeah,
that's what friends do. Oh,
nah, I never got to. I was like, I'm gonna thank her for that on the show. You know what I'm saying? So thank
you're
you.
so welcome. Of
You
course.
know, it's like 10 years overdue, but
No,
you really boosted my
it's
spirit.
like never too late. It's never too late. I'm glad that I could do that for you, for
No
real.
problem, no problem, no problem. Now, is there anything coming out this year that you're interested in at all as far as sneakers?
I'm gonna be honest with you and say I don't be paying attention to what's coming out. Like
Okay.
I don't typically know until it comes out, and then it's either too late or I'm in a position where I'm like, oh shit, these come out tomorrow. Like I'm gonna actually try to go get them. Like I always find out at the last minute. I really wanted those threes that had just came out. The ones that it had like the off white sole. They're cut a little higher, like they had the original cut to
Yeah,
them. You know what I'm talking about?
the
Yeah,
reimagined.
really wanted those. Really wanted those. Um, but I found out about them too late. Like so I'm always just finding out like about the releases super late now. Like I don't be keeping up with them as much as I should. Mostly because, and honestly, it's not even because I don't love sneakers anymore, but they're so hard to get these days that like I just don't have like the mental or the physical like bandwidth to even like try to get sneakers like these days. Like you go to a store, they be sold out already. They doing raffles, and then like if it was the old days where I could just like literally go to the store like a few hours before it opens and just sit there, I would do that. But like raffles or like having to pay like above retail via StockX and everything like that, like I just don't be having like I just be having too much going on. Like so if I got the like if I really want them and I got the money to pay above retail, I'll just cop them online somewhere. But getting sneakers in person is hard now. Like at least down here, you know what I mean? Like
No, I get you.
maybe they be gone. I had a plug that was hooking me up at one point. It's funny because she was actually one of my followers, and she was a huge fan of my work. And my husband went into the store one day and tried to get a shoe. I forgot which shoe it was, but he was trying to get a shoe, and she was like, "Come back at 11:30. I got you." And he was like, "Oh, okay." You know, she was looking out. So he goes back up to the store to get whatever shoe it was. And she was like, I'm a really big fan of your wife. And I see you guys come in all the time. And I'd be afraid to speak to her. But I just love her so much. So I was like, let me try to look out for him. So then I ended up like connecting with her and was like giving her, you know, free stuff and just thanking her and stuff for looking out. And now, like sometimes if I really want to release, because she works at Foot Locker, if I really want to release, like I'll hit her up and be like, hey, are y'all going to get these? Like, can you put them to the side for me or something? And she'll look out for me. But The one she works at honestly doesn't get a lot of the stuff that I be wanting, so it's like a bust a lot of times.
Um, if it's something that you need, just let me know. I could always try to help too.
Thank you.
No problem.
Thank
No
you. I
problem.
never even like thought to ask because like I just be like, forget it. Like
Nah,
when I say I'm literally always in Crocs now, like I am an old lady. I got on Crocs right now. I'm always in Crocs.
what?
Yeah.
Hey, nah,
Yeah. It's
I
bad.
saw that you did say that earlier. Nah, that's all good. Hey, if anybody can make Crocs look good, it could be you. You know what I'm saying?
You know
So
what? I just love that you can personalize them so much with like the little charms and stuff. Like I really make my Crocs my own. And sometimes it's hard to get them too. Like
yeah, yeah, yeah.
they're trying to raffle for no Crocs, man. Get out my face.
Nah, I feel it. I
I
feel it.
feel like I'm good.
Yeah. Well, listen. Thank you so much for being here. I mean, I went away from my format just because it's been a really long time since we've talked, and I'm
Mhm.
just thrilled to speak with you and to see you. Um, I bought one of her paintings before my ex. I'll never see it again.
Oh,
Oh man.
I'm sorry.
Well, before we go, did you have any questions for me?
Um, yeah, I got some questions for you. Okay, so what was your last like cop that you were like excited about? Like, oh, I need these, and you actually got them.
Those threes.
Rub it in. I don't see.
That's
Ah,
why I said it like that because I didn't want to. I didn't want to. I got lucky and hit on the shop drop.
right.
Working for Nike by way of Converse on the app, I'm just like a regular person.
Hmm.
But a lot of stuff, if it doesn't sell out and it sits, then I can kind of touch it. You know what I mean?
Right.
So,
Right.
but yeah, I mean that's really it. I mean, with everything going on with this, with the divorce and having to move and everything, I haven't been as on it as normal myself.
Right.
But it's a few shoes I would have liked to have had this year but they're shoes like I wanted those white and green twos, but like I know that they're gonna be around.
I wanted those so bad. First of all, I love twos.
And
Love.
you always have. We used to have conversations back in the day. You always rocked with the two.
Always.
So
And they were just not a shoe that I was ever like able to get for, whatever reason. So um I've been really excited like with this last round of like retros they've been putting out or whatever. And I really wanted them white and green ones. And I don't have any white and green
yeah,
shoes. Like just white and just green. Like and I feel like I wear too much green to not have any. So I always end up having to go like white on white or like white and tan, you know what I'm saying? Like white with some gum bottoms. Like I really, really wanted them white and green joints real bad.
Mr. NY, I'm gonna get with you. You know what I'm saying? Just give me a sec. But yeah, I wanted those. I even wanted those Aqua Fives just because they're kind of hood niggerish. You know what I'm saying? They kind of hood. They kind of hooded out, but they're clearly a Chris Paul PE from like 2008
Yeah.
or something, and they just flipped the colors. But
They were
you know,
doing a lot with fives for a minute. Like, hold on now, what are y'all doing? It got real freaky with the five colorways.
yeah, real like you clearly made these for some hood niggas.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
it's obvious, because and that's Nike as a whole. Like they've done it with Griffey's and Pippins and Barclays, where it's like, oh, those clearly is for the hood. You know what I'm
Oh,
saying?
yeah.
It's some,
Especially with Griffey's.
yeah,
Especially with Griffey's. I was like, some of the colorways that was coming out, I was like, oh, they didn't tap into a specific audience here. Like,
some of them ones we used to get at Villa. I'm like, man, if this wasn't here, man, I wouldn't even think these bitches was real. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah. But I mean, being honest with you, like, because I'm still trying to gauge this neighborhood. All of these shoes behind me are just Converse. I don't have any like Jordans or anything here. You know, yeah, I just most of my move has been done at night, and you know, I don't want to get Jade in over some Jordans. So you know what I mean. So
Right.
yeah.
So I
So I
feel
just kind of switch them in and out.
only have one pair of Converse.
There's gonna be some fancy shit, some CDGs, some off whites, something like that. I know it's gonna be something fancy.
Not too fancy, not too fancy. The Show Fresh Good joints.
Okay, that's a good one.
Yeah.
Mine, yeah.
Actually, I'm
Get
lying like hell.
box.
I have a oh yeah, there we go.
Yeah.
I am lying. I do have a couple more pairs of Chucks
Uh-huh.
in my garage, but just like plain colors. I got like
Not in the garage.
I got a lot of shoes. Like I actually just found this bag, so my garage is full of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And I was looking for some one day, and I came across this big ass like contractor trash bag full of shoes that I like forgot that I even had. So it was like all my like Chucks in there, like some low top navy blue, some high top pink, and some high top something else. Um, I was like, damn, I forgot all about these shoes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I need to go down there and see what else is in there.
But like this year, it's not really a lot coming out. I mean, I need a new pair of playoff 8s. My pair from 2007. The little plate on the side, it's got a little crack in it. So.
Oh, I think mine are still crazy. Let me see. You said playoff 8s?
Yeah.
I joined. Yep. I was wearing them to death, so they're a little crazy looking, but not too bad.
Yeah. In fact, let me show you right what I do.
Okay.
Sorry about that. So what I do is like, all right, I wore these yesterday, right?
Okay.
So I wore these, and throughout this week, see, I keep this this luggage here with the shoes in it, so nobody will see me come in and out with them.
Right.
And then I'll just ever so often I'll just go to storage and I'll just take it back. You know. Yeah. A little something. This is all recent wears. These two.
Okay.
So I still keep the heat, but I just don't keep it here.
Right.
This is like a trap house. You know what I'm saying? Where I'm at right now. The Converse trap house. So yeah. But you know, anybody who follows me, if you see me wearing Converse, that means I had to work. So oh man. But yeah. So but to answer your question, the 3 is the only shoe that really came out here that I really wanted. And I think since I missed out on the Chicago ones, Nike gave me love. So
Got you.
Oh man. You got anything else for me?
I don't know. I should have like thought of some questions. I didn't think to like.
I didn't even say that in the DM. So yeah, I mean, well, you know what? I will ask you. You know, you and I, we both got married around the same time. You know, fall of 17. How's married life treating you? You seem very happy. You know, with Kyle and everything. So, you know, how's that going for you?
I love him. He's great. It's been a great experience. It's not always easy. I tell you that marriage is work. It is work. It is work. But
yeah.
He's really a great man, and you know, even on our worst days, I wouldn't trade him for nobody else. It's great, for real.
That's a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
Props to you for that. You know, so shoot, y'all will be coming up on 6 years in a little bit.
Yep, in August.
Yeah.
It'll be 6 years. It's crazy to even think about. Sometimes it don't even feel like we've been together for 6 years. Well, really, we've been together for
Like 10, haven't you?
10, yeah.
Yeah, because I feel like I remember you telling me about him in like 13 when I was at Next Tower City. I,
Mm-hmm.
I think I remember something around that time. So
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
I know it's weird. I can remember all of that, but yeah, I remember talking to you around then. Oh man, so yeah, that's a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
Oh man, yeah. So well, as much as I hate to end it, because I know you're a busy woman. I know you probably got some meetings and some interviews and something, you know what I'm saying, right after, you know.
I got some dinner right after I need to eat.
Show, show. Well,
You
listen.
know, I don't miss no meals.
Yeah. Well, look, tell everybody where they can find you and what you do before we sign off.
Okay. So before we sign off, you can first of all, I'm a serial entrepreneur at this point. Literally, I run a art business. It's called Cashmere8 .com. That's Cashmere VIII.com. My business Twitter is at Cashmere8. So at KASHMIR VIII. The one that I'm on right now is my personal page. You can follow me at either one. I also am a esthetician. I sell skincare. My skincare brand is called Delish Condish. Is pretty much spelled just like it sounds. But you know what? I'm gonna go ahead and type everything down here too. Just how old people be looking at their phone like they can't see it. So I'll type everything down here. But yeah, definitely check out my art, check out my skincare. Um, Follow me, chat with your girl. I'm always on doing something. I'm also a trying to get into clothing and sneaker design. I will be designing for Adidas very soon. I also design clothing for Shein. Um, and yeah, I do it all damn near.
Oh, one question. I know you've met tons of celebrities who have had your stuff, wear your stuff. Who are you the most excited to meet?
To meet.
Mm-hmm.
Because I've had way more celebrities wear my stuff than I've actually met. But I was very, very, very excited to meet Issa Rae. Um, I've had the pleasure of working with Issa Rae on multiple collaborations. Um, she's she's so chill, so down to earth. Really, really enjoyed meeting her. As far as and Tisha Campbell Martin, I met Tisha Campbell Martin as well, and that was exciting because she knew who I was already and already had my stuff. So that was exciting. That was very exciting because she low key like fangirled out on me, and I was like, "What?" It was really exciting. Yeah, I had met her at the Bossip offices, Bossip.com. I went to their office. She was being interviewed by Bossip, and they were like, "Hey, you know, Tisha Campbell Martin is coming through. You should come in and bring some of your stuff by." And I was like, "Okay, yeah, sure, whatever." And I remember having like a bunch of my artwork set up, and I was like off in the cut somewhere grabbing something. And when she walked in, I wasn't like in the scene, but all my artwork was. And I'm getting stuff together, and she walked in and she said, "Oh my God, is she here?" And I was like, "Who is that?" I'm like, "This is not who I think it is." Is it? And I'm like, "Is that Tisha Campbell Martin?" And she was like, "Is she here right now?" And I crept like from behind the scenes. I forgot what I was doing, but I was like, "Hi." And she was like, "Oh my God, it's you." And I was like, "Nigga, it's you. What do you mean?" I was
Oh
like
man.
blown away. I was like, wow, she knows who I am. She's excited to meet me. Like, this is nuts. So that was a lot of fun. And then as far as who I was most excited by wearing my stuff, definitely Angela Bassett. Angela
Mm-hmm.
Bassett went to the movies to go see the first Black Panther. She just like went with her girlfriends, and she like wore one of my clutches with her. And I was like, this is nuts. So I have that picture saved in my phone with my wallpaper for a minute. But yeah, definitely Angela Bassett, because she be wearing the heck out that clutch. She loves it.
Hustle her, ladies and gentlemen. The legend.
The one,
Cash Bear.
only the original.
Cash Bear. 1790. That's when it all started.
You remember my birthday too?
Yes. Don't you remember it now? I know you don't remember this. Before we go, it's another thing. Remember I had it was like when you turned 21 or was it 23? It was one of your ages. I like posted a Jordan leading up to the days of
yes. Oh yes, I definitely remember that. Oh my god. And you drew that cool ass picture.
Yeah. I'm trying to get back. So yeah, I remember your birthday. You know, of course. So
really
hey, listen. I'm one of your biggest fans. I mean, we've known each other a long time, but anything you do, I'm like, see? I always look at my phone, see? There we go. You know? So, yeah.
Oh, man, I appreciate you so much.
Hey, I appreciate you too, Cash. I know you're a busy woman. Thank you for being on my show. I really appreciate it.
Of course. Thank you for having me.
No problem. So I will be in touch, you know, and just let me know how everything goes.
I sure will. I'll let you know as soon as I know.
Yeah, and if you need anything from the spoosh, let me know.
Got you. Thank you.
God bless. I'll talk to you soon.
Okay. Bye.